Good morning. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. If you're tuning in hoping for a COVID update from me, I am filming this on Friday. So any news you may have heard since then is going to be more current. I can tell you that on Friday, I still have my Sam Elliott voice, but I'm feeling better. Yesterday afternoon, I started to run a low-grade fever. Did that for 8-10 hours, and then that broke. I think I'm on the upswing. This thing does, what I hear is it tends to hold on, it can double back, and so I'm trying to lay low and get lots of sleep and all that. But I feel better than I sound, and but this is Friday, so I don't, if you hear anything on Saturday or Sunday, that'll be more current. So we are in Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. This is a key passage about the Bible. The Word of God is living and active and sharper than any two-edged sword and piercing as far as the division of soul and spirit, of both joint and marrow, able to judge the thoughts and intentions of the heart. So yesterday I said, look, the only things we know about God are the things that He has revealed to us. And there's only two categories of that revelation. The first is natural or general revelation. It's general information that we can know about God, things that we can deduce about the Creator based on the creation. And that gives us enough to know there is a God. Paul says that in Romans 1, but not enough to know the specifics about Christ and His offer, His love and grace and all of that. So there needs to be more, and the fuller revelation of God comes through special or super, beyond the creation, beyond the natural realm. And the highest form of that is Jesus. That's really a theme of the entire book of Hebrews. Jesus is the exact representation of His being. He is the radiance of God's glory, right? All those things we saw in Hebrews 1. But we also have the Word of God, not just the Word of God incarnate, the Logos, but we have the Word of God written, the Bible. And so yesterday I said, look, this book is unique, it's inspired, it's God-breathed, it's a gift, and we need to read it. Harvard University supposedly has like 100 libraries and almost 13 or 14 million volumes. It doesn't have any others that can claim to be alive, but the Bible makes that claim. So, look, you need to understand, the reason Hebrews 4:12 is in Hebrews chapter 4 is not to celebrate the Bible. There are other passages that talk about the power of the Bible, such as Isaiah 55 telling us it doesn't return void, or 2 Timothy 3:16, the Word of God is, we should study the Scriptures because it has the power to correct and to reprove and to guide and direct us. So we get that in other places. And it's certainly not celebrating the Bible in terms of its literary quality, although it's got some remarkable literary qualities, depending largely on the translations that we're reading. King James especially, and we'll look briefly at that in one of the 100 points of inflection. But the reason that it's here, the reason that we're being told that the Bible is so insightful, is because it's a warning to us. So Hebrews 4, 1 through 11, the key word was rest, and the admonition was that we want to do what we need to do to be diligent to pursue God so that we would enter into the ultimate rest of a relationship with Him that is eternal in heaven. So this is here at the tail end of that to say, by the way, God knows everything. God knows our deepest thoughts. The Word of God can discern between the indiscernible. The Bible is sharper than a two-edged sword. It's sort of a play off of the Roman sword, the Roman dagger. It can cut the uncuttable. It can pierce through the hardest heart and see what's really there. And so this is an admonition to be seeking after God. Now, He knows the worst about us, right? I mean, there's another side to this, but the book of Hebrews has some unsettling chapters that are sort of disturbing and saying, hey, are you really seeking God? Yes, we're saved by grace through faith. It's not of ourselves, and we're broken, and the deeper you look, the more broken we are. All of that is also true, and God accepts us in spite of all of that. but there is a sense in which we are expected to pursue God and to work this out. And those that are part of the those that are part of the visible church, but not part of the invisible one, those who might act like a Christian but haven't really yielded their heart, God is not fooled. So a final little story here. I am napping a lot because of COVID. Couldn't sleep last night. A good sign means I'm obviously, I think, mending. So 2 a.m, I was like, okay, I'm up. I'm not going to be able to go back to sleep. So I get a book, and I'm actually reading an Intro to Econ textbook right now, because I do not understand our economy. So I'm trying to understand it. And I said, I'm going to go get that Intro to Econ book because that'll put me to sleep. But now I need to find times always to yield my life to the Word of God, to just sit in subjection to the Word of God. And I want to encourage you to do that. It is powerful, and it is a pathway to our feet. So see it for the gift that it is. Have a good day.